Midsommar isn't just folk horror, it's a grief movie wearing flower crowns. And at the center of it is Dani, someone who doesn't just lose her family, she loses her safe place to feel. The scariest thing here isn't the cult, it's how grief gets healed when the people closest to you don't show up. Let's talk about Dani and Christian's relationship in this movie. Dani and Christian had been together for at least 3 years according to the movie, and Christian is just emotionally checked out and debating a breakup he can't commit to, not because he's a mastermind villain, because he's passive. Then tragedy slams into Dani's life, and instead of leaving her like he'd been planning to, he stays in that relationship, not out of love, but obligation. From that point on, their relationship is very one-sided. Dani needs a partner, Christian offers presence without support. He acts like the patron saint of non-committal men, polite enough to remain, detached enough to be useless. He won't end it, he's almost waiting for Dani to end it for him. But she won't, because she's standing in the ruins of her life and he's the last person left in the room. Dani is emotionally vulnerable and the movie shows it without speeches. Watch how she polices her own pain. She keeps a smile on, nods through the conversations, and swallows everything that doesn't fit "I'm fine." Around Christian's friend, she's performing an act to be okay, just so she won't be quote-unquote too much for everyone. And there's a moment when she goes to meet his friends that tells you the whole story. After the topic of her parents' death comes up, Dani steps into the bathroom and shuts the door and clamps a hand over her mouth so no one will hear her cry. It's not just sadness, it's a shame. Shame for having feeling. Shame for needing comfort she's already learned won't be there. She can't let herself be seen in that vulnerable state. And here's the cruelest edge. Her grief doesn't move on just because time does. The film avoids melodrama and simply shows you how loss kind of just lingers when it's never shared. She looks, acts and breathes like it's happened yesterday because emotionally it very well did. A lot of people want to make Christian the mustache twirling bad guy. I don't think he is. He's something more honest and more common. He is emotionally unavailable. He minimizes Dani's fear when she worries about her sister's spiraling messages. He rolls it off like you're overreacting. Later when a couple at the commune mysteriously leaves, quote unquote, mysteriously leaves, he shrugs it off again because engaging would mean actually taking an interest in Dani's life. He doesn't hate Dani, he just doesn't want the weight that comes with loving her. The film refuses to simplify it, it just shows you the reality. He won't be the person she needs and she can't afford to lose the only person in her life. Then there's the whole Sweden debacle, a community that is functionally a cult. But look at what they offer and you'll understand why Dani bends. They don't merely tolerate emotion, they literally mirror it. They don't say I'm here for you, they become that feeling with you. Remember that bathroom scene that we discussed earlier? The private, silent, shameful crying? Hold that image for a second. Now the cult's women circle Dani after she sees Christian's betrayal. She collapses and they don't let her hide. One woman literally holds Dani's face and looks at her directly in the eyes and breathes with her. The rest match her sobs syllable for syllable like a choir of pain. It's communal, invasive empathy. That is the film's knife twist. What was once hidden in silence is now witnessed and echoed. The thing she was ashamed to show is forced into visibility, and it feels horribly like relief. It's disturbing because it works. The cult gives her that exact opposite of Christian's detachment. They answer her private grief with public belonging. They make her feel held, not helped, held. There's a difference. Now, I don't think that Christian's cheating on Dani was entirely his fault. I mean, he was in a loveless relationship, he was drugged up and forced to be let down into a room full of women, literally singing chants. So yeah, he definitely betrays Dani in that moment. But I do also believe that from the moment these people set foot in that whole cult, the cult is controlling every single one of their movements. At first, it's not that visible, but as the movie progresses, you really start to see how the choices and these rituals that these people are participating are not because they are participating because they want to, but because maybe they just don't really have any other choice. That's very evident towards the end of the movie. And when Christian betrays her and when Dani sees him, she breaks. Not because she lost the love of her life, but because she finally sees the love she needed was never really coming. And the commune moves in like a tide, hands on shoulders, faces inches apart, sobs matched, breaths mirrored. It's horrifying precisely because it's intimate. It weaponizes comfort. You watch Dani make an ugly face when she cries, and even maybe Dani knows that she's making that face. That's why perhaps she tries to hide it. But in that moment, her face is held by the cult woman, and she isn't allowed to turn away to hide that ugly face. And in that moment, Dani finds comfort. She learns that it's okay. It's okay to let go and cry and have that comfort that she never really found with the people in her life before. By the end, Dani's grief is not resolved. It's redirected. She trades a relationship built on absence for a family built on control. That final smile isn't triumph, it's relief mixed with surrender. The relief of finally being seen, even if it's by people who will devour you to keep the circle unbroken. She gets the belonging she was starved for at the cost of who she was before she arrived, and maybe she never liked the person she was before she arrived. Maybe that's why she was so vulnerable to the whole indoctrination. In this movie, there are no ghosts here, no jump scare monsters, just a simple terrifying equation. If grief isn't met with real care, you'll take care from anywhere. The bathroom cry scene tells you who Dani had to be. The mirrored cry scene tells you where she's willing to take that comfort from. Midsommar is disturbing because it understands grief better than most serious dramas. It shows how losing your family can make you accept a new one, even if that family sings while it swallows you. But tell me, what hit you the hardest about this movie? Was it the betrayal or that last final smile? For me personally, that mirrored crying scene had to be the most disturbing thing in the entire movie. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and as always, it's time for a goodbye.